Okay, so day 4, Mad Rambles, 4 out of 100. Um, Today's a bit of a weird day. I haven't been as productive as normal, so I haven't pre-thought of a topic I wanted to talk about. So I'm not 100% what I'm going to talk about, so it's not really going to be a directional one. It's going to be a proper mad ramble. And but I think I'm just going to carry on from what I was talking about yesterday and the impact a mentor has on you or can have on you, and how that is so needed and desired by the youth, people growing up, especially young men. We need mentors. We need people there to guide us and point us into directions when we're doing something wrong, when we're doing something right. Yeah, of course you can do it by yourself, but as I've heard, a smart person makes mistakes and learns from them. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So it is definitely much more impactful to have someone around you, someone you can learn off, someone you can progress off. And I think one of the most important teachings that kids are missing out on, it takes you a while to understand and learn, is the impact of discomfort. I talked about that, and I think it was like the second episode, and how discomfort really does, and seeking for discomfort really does define you and shape you into a better human being, especially a better man. Because a lot of the times, these day and age, we have our luxuries and we have our instant dopamine that to do anything is hard. People are so used to just doing nothing that's hard that as soon as something's incrementally hard, they're like, fuck, what do we do? It's like, oh no, cold shower. What do I do? Bro, it's fucking cold water, man. Like, whereas, going through discomfort, having cold showers, forcing yourself to learn, forcing yourself to work out, and doing that hardens you, and all these different things, meditating, stuff that improves you but isn't necessarily good, that shapes you into someone who's not only more tolerable of stress through the act of doing whatever it is, so like cold showers, but more tolerable purely out of the basis that it's discomforting. So not only is it discomforting, which hardens you, it's also forcing yourself to do stuff and be disciplined, which is also discomfort. So it's making you even harder. And then by doing those things, it makes you even more resistant because you're more comfortable in the cold water and stuff like that, and working hard. So exponentially, it makes you better than everyone else, and it elevates you to places where you're able to go into to absorb such deep amount of stress and go through deep amounts of stress, and others just aren't. Others just aren't able to do that. The slightest little thing, and they break down because everything in their life is so perfect. Everything in their life is so easy, so fun, and they don't have to try. They don't really have to work hard for anything. They sort of bimble along in school. They sort of bimble along in sixth form, whatever, and then do the same in university. Get drunk, get pissed, and life's a party, and then get a little 9 to 5, comfort, and everything's just so easy that no one ever grows and learns from it. And I think the 9 to 5, yeah, cool, it's comfortable, and people should be able to do that if they want to do that. I mean, yeah, if you want to go search for comfort, go to comfort. But is it really a good thing? Is that really something that we should celebritize as a virtue and promote as something that's good? Of course, you can do whatever you want in your life, but is it really something that we should accept in society? Because it leads to problems down the road. You're like, oh, why can't I afford this? My life shit. Oh, why can't I do this? My life shit. Why don't I feel like this? My life shit. And ultimately, just because the world accepts that comfort is sort of the way to be and is an okay thing, it ultimately destroys you. It destroys you in here and physically. So, who is the better person? The person that tells you to stop being a little bitch, comforts the devil. You may not like it, or someone who's like, yeah, you can do that because you can do whatever you want. Yeah, of course you can, but should you? No, because ultimately they're just delaying the inevitable. If you search for happiness, you'll never be happy. Always be one into the next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing, next thing, and that will ultimately lead you to discomfort and dishappiness, unhappiness. Whereas if you search for discomfort, number one, you already know your baseline. You already know you're gonna have a shit time. So there's no expectation of being good. There's no wishful thinking of being good. If it's good, it's just a benefit. You know what I mean? But then on the flip side of that, often when you go through discomfort, it feels good to do it. You feel good when you finish. Like when you go for a run or to the gym, it feels fucking shit to get started. You don't want to do it. And then you do it and it's hard and then you finish and you're like, yeah, I feel good. So it's obviously beneficial and it makes you happy. So discomfort by association leads to happiness. Discomfort is happiness. And the whole lie that society, seek happiness, be happy, is wrong. If you want to be happy, don't seek happiness. It's a weird sort of flip life plays on you, and our bodies play on us. If you want to be happy, try not to seek things that aren't going to make you happy. But then, if you want to be happy, don't don't seek things that are happy. Which is weird because in society, like I said, everyone said, "Oh, it's okay to be comfortable." 9 to 5. If you want it, that's good. And oh, seek happiness, do what you want in life, and whilst that's great, and I do think you should have a purpose and have something you want to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should still be seeking happiness, because I think just because you have a purpose doesn't mean it's happy, you know if you're sorry, just because rather if you have a purpose doesn't mean it's comfortable, doesn't mean it's easy. And it's that discomfort and unease that makes it worthwhile, which in turn makes you feel happy, which I think is something our generation, my generation, and society in general is missing out on. And I think the lack of leaders to tell the youth that is a big problem. And it's where we're falling short a lot of the times. It's where we're not achieving our potential and ultimately being unhappy. And often all the leaders, because they've been fed the same bullshit and rubbish, they're like, oh yeah, seek happiness and all this rubbish. But they're not really happy themselves. Or they're just sort of numb to the unhappiness in the sense that they're just sort of going down a path that they think is the right path because that's what they've been told. They haven't been able to zoom out on life and sort of look at it more and make their own opinions rather than just regurgitating the opinions of those around them and those that have been told. Which perhaps is the greatest problem of our time, or one of them at least. Maybe not the greatest, there's a few not great problems, but it's definitely up there. And I think if people just search for, we're told that happiness, it doesn't come from trying to be happy, it comes from seeking discomfort and doing things that are worthwhile through achieving purpose, and that purpose may not be something that's comfortable, then I think the world would be in such a better place, especially mentally, and people would be out there achieving their goals, and they would definitely be better in a lot of areas. last 10 minutes. I've been Keen. Peace.